Welcome to the Arsenal Show. We are live. And the game finished Everton 2, Arsenal 1. Not a result that Arsenal wanted or needed. The cynics will be out in their droves tonight. Arsenal, with overall a poor display. Individuals had an okay game. Some players had moments, but overall simply not good enough from start to finish for Arsenal. I'd like to welcome my co-host tonight, Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, Kieran? You all right, mate? Good.
If I was to say yes, I would be lying. Absolutely fuming over that result.
Yeah,
It was just rubbish. It was rubbish.
Just trying to keep some. What we spoke about the other day, some kind of professionalism at the minute to try and calm it. But not happy. You pretty much summed it up there when you said about certain individuals okay, certain individuals not. I'm sure we'll get into that. But I think overall, two teams, poor quality, both sides tonight. I thought settled by a wonder goal that that you just couldn't stop. That can just come out of anywhere, and I've hit them not that often, I must admit, but they're the ones that you just when they come off your foot, you just know they're in the back of the net, and as soon as that left his foot, I knew it was a goal. As soon as it left his foot, and I'm sure we're going to get into more in a minute.
Yeah, so let's get straight into the player ratings, and we'll go through each one individually. Aaron Ramsdale tonight, Steve.
Yeah, I think he didn't do nothing really wrong. I thought the goal that he couldn't do nothing about the second goal, and the same with the first one. It was a come off the bar and he headed back it in. So, or no, it was the other one, wasn't it? But yeah, I didn't think he had a bad game. I don't think you can blame him for anything. So I give him a 6.
Ramsdale with a 6. Tomiyasu.
I thought he had a good game. I thought he had a good game. He looked okay. He let Demari Gray cut inside, but sometimes when you're up against a winger, that's going to happen in a game, and it's not often that when you let a player cut inside and you hit a shot like that you expect to go in top corner. But apart from that, I thought he had a good game. I thought he tackled well. I thought he got stuck in well. I thought he was strong. I thought he got down the line well on occasions. I'm going to give him a 7 tonight. I thought he played well.
All right, Tomiyasu with a 7. Kieran Tierney back in the squad. Got his start. Kieran Tierney.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I called for Tavares to keep his place and not bring Tierney in. But he showed tonight that we see the two sides of Kieran Tierney again tonight. We see him going forward, and he's an awesome prospect going forward. When we attack, lovely cross for the goal. He also got another lovely cross as well in the first half, and he was dangerous going forward. But he gets caught. He gets caught going back, and I think that's why he got taken off. Because we got caught up forward and Granit Xhaka had to run back and cover someone, and immediately Kearney was taken off. And I think that was probably down to a bit of tiredness.
Yeah,
but
not sharpness.
Not sharpness, and I worry a little bit about that part of his game because I keep seeing it. But certainly going forward, great cross for the goal. 6.
All right, Kieran Tierney gets a 6. Gabriel.
I thought he struggled at times tonight, and it's not often this season that I've said that Gabriel struggled, but there was times in the game where his passing was a bit loose. There was a couple of times where he got caught out of position. Obviously, as a centre half, there are going to be times when, you're going to get your tackles, you're going to get your headers in, but I didn't think he clouded himself in glory tonight, Gabriel, and which is unusual for him. But I'm going to give him a 5 tonight because I don't know what you thought, Keir. I just thought he struggled a little bit.
Gabriel. Yeah, it was tough against Richarlison. He was all over the place. Richarlison, he was constantly going for it. I can't really remember too much about Gabriel's performance. I know Ben White put a couple of nice blocks in, but I can't really remember too much about Gabriel's performance. Probably says a lot though. Would you give him a 5?
Yeah.
Gabriel with a 5. Ben White.
Ben White done well tonight. Ben White did very well. He was back to that bringing out the back from the back with the ball at his feet, running through that midfield. He got in a couple of brilliant blocks in their first half where they took a shot, and it seems to be quite a trait of his when he sort of reaches out to block, and he done that a couple of times. I didn't think he was at fault for any of the goals. I don't remember giving the ball away that much, so I'm going to give Ben White a 6. I thought he was better than Gabriel tonight, which is unusual. It's normally they're either the same or Gabriel's normally nicks it. But I think tonight Ben White was just that little bit more better than Gabriel tonight.
Yeah, he broke out the defence nicely. Few nice balls. Ben White. Ben White, I think, is one of those players where he divides opinion because he's got to take risks in his game. So he'll either be breaking out defence or he'll be out of position because he's broken out defence. He puts in the long balls, tries the diags. That's part of his game, and he has to take those risks. So, yeah, Ben White, not a bad evening for him tonight. Thomas Partey.
It's not working, is it? It's just not. It's not working, and I feel so sorry for him. Another bad game. There are times when he gets the ball and he sprays it, and you think, good pass, good ball, but there's nothing cutting. There's nothing that he is the attacking midfield player. He's the one that plays, who is meant to be the forward one out of Saka and Partey tonight. And I don't remember Partey playing. You may, kid, but I don't remember anything coming from him. And he was sloppy again, and he's sloppy with his balls, and and for the goal, it was a sloppy pass that put Tavares under pressure, and the geezer nicked in, went out to the other side, and bang, it's a goal. Where all you had to do was just lay it back to Gabriel or someone, and we'd be going away with at least a draw tonight. I don't know what we're going to do with this bloke, but it's not looking good. He's been at the club a long while now, but I'm going to give him a 4.
All right, Thomas Partey with a 4. Yeah, too inconsistent in his play. There were some nice bits of his play, but not enough for a player of his level. It's too inconsistent. 1 minute you'll see a couple of nice balls, some breaking through the lines. The next minute he's getting dispossessed from the ball. There was one point where he got the ball taken off him, But it wouldn't matter what league he was in. If he was playing Sunday League, that ball would have been taken off him because he thought he could stand there on the edge of the area for 5 minutes with his feet.
He's so slow. Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's so slow. I'd say there's just times in his play where he's just not. What's the word?
Bothered. That's how it looks
I can't
sometimes.
think
It does
of the
look
word.
like that. It looks that way.
It's not.
I know it
can't
ain't
think of the
that.
word. It's just reactions are just not on it, and it's just silly. It's because early doors in the game, he's popping the ball, he's popping it, he's popping it, turn, pop. So why on the edge of the area, on the edge of their area, does he think that he can hold that ball for even longer? It was just silly. It's just frustrating. Where is it? Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, good to have him back. Surprised that he was, he was in the starting lineup. He's gonna need games before he's fully fit, because I didn't think he was fully fit tonight. But he started well. He was. I don't think he did a lot wrong. If you're going to pick out a couple of passes that he went off, there was a couple, but nowhere near as much as what Thomas Partey. And he was the defensive midfield player tonight, and he just sat. So I don't know what people got to understand with defensive midfield players, whether it's Partey, Lokonga, or Granit Xhaka, is that they're not Kevin De Bruyne. They're meant to just sit and let the other defensive midfielder go forward. I'm getting a little bit fed up with people trying to make players that they ain't, and expecting them to Granit Xhaka to go and score a hat trick or something, which is ridiculous. He wasn't fit. Maybe he's probably should have started on the bench, because maybe bring him on slowly. But it just shows how desperate Mikel Arteta must be to bring him in after him being injured for 3 months now, and he's had to get back straight away. Get back. So he must see the same as what we see with the Arsenal midfield, especially Thomas Partey. Yeah, he was certainly better than Thomas Partey tonight. That's for sure. And he was better than Gabriel. So I suppose I've got to give him a 6.
All right, 6 for Xhaka. Martin Odegaard.
Arsenal's best player.
Yeah, definitely.
Arsenal's best player tonight, and I see it on Twitter, right? That Odegaard had another bad game, right?
No, he didn't. It was Arsenal's.
Just get out
one of Arsenal's very few shining lights.
If we could bring this up on Tuesday, because he was, I thought he was fantastic tonight, right? He scored a goal. He never gave the ball away. He was passing the ball through the channels. He never lost the ball. He was, Odegaard should teach Thomas Partey how to get the ball and turn, because that's what he should be doing, right? And Odegaard's not the midfield player. But I thought he was excellent tonight, Martin Odegaard. I don't think you could, when you're marking a player, what do you want from someone? You want someone to make the chances. You want someone, to score the goals. You want someone to, look on it. And he was. And I'm giving him a 9. And that's a big 2 fingers up to the idiots on Twitter who reckons he had a bad game tonight. It's just give up watching football. That's what I say. Give him a 9.
No, I thought Odegaard. I think there's a lot more to come from Odegaard. I thought he was good on the ball, passed well. He was just unlucky not to get the ball out of his feet to get a better shot off later on. But he's not a forward, so I'm not surprised it didn't come naturally to him to take that ball in his stride and then put it onto his right. Maybe again, he's left-footed as well. But no, it's encouraging to see Odegaard have better games, because he was. It seems like game by game, he just needs game now. That's what it is for me. Odegaard just needs games.
Yeah.
and then he start to get in his stride because
I think he's won that place.
Act.
Yeah, I think he's on the team sheet now every week. You know, over the last few performances.
Mm-hmm. Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah, he was buzzing around. He was trying, but he never really, you know, he wasn't nowhere near the performances of of Newcastle and Manchester United. But he looked, he was trying. He looked on it. He didn't have a bad game. Yeah, it was one of them tonight. I'll give him a 6.
All right, 6 for Martinelli. 6. Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, I thought he played well tonight. I thought he did well. I thought he looked dangerous at times. First half, he was a bit quiet, but then he started to come into it towards the end of the first half, and there's reasons why I thought he couldn't play to his full ability, which we may come to. But I thought he did well. It wasn't. I'd give him a 7. Saka. I thought he did. I thought he done all right.
All right, Johnny, don't worry about ranting, mate. This is where you can come to vent your frustrations. All right, I'll answer some of your questions in a minute. Let's just get through these ratings and then we'll go through some of the comments.
So ranting in a
minute. Alexandre Lacazette.
Just get out of the club, for God's sake, please. Can he just go? Why is he playing? Why is he there? Why is he captain? If he's not staying, did he have a shot? I didn't know he was on the pitch for 40 minutes. What did he do? Because I'd love to know in the comments, or you kids, what did he do tonight? What was the point of having him on the pitch? Because he done absolutely. I had my eye on him. Yeah, I had my eye on him, and I was watching him, and you was absolutely useless, pal. And the sooner we get him out of the club, the better. Yeah, you tried a few games ago. Yeah, I'll give you that. And we come on here and we said it. Yeah, you look at, you're chasing around, you're getting stuck in. Well done. I'm fed up saying it. He wasn't even doing that tonight because I didn't even know he was on the pitch. And did he have a shot? Did he get in the box? Did he run into the channels? He's a midfield player. Yeah, I said that to my missus. It was like a midfield. I said, what's he doing in the midfield? He was picking the ball up there. I think he's taking a mickey out of us. He's taking a mickey. I'm surprised Odegaard had the game he did, because that's another reason why I give him a 9. Because he took hold of the game as if to say, you're a waste of time, Lacazette, you are. I better try and go and do something, because he was useless. The fans of Lacazette say, he held the ball up a couple of times and he laid it off. If I played tonight for Arsenal at my age, right, I would hold the ball up a couple of times and lay it off. So, and I'm sure you would, Kieran, as well. But
no one wants to see me on pitch.
But this could go into a long one. But I don't want to go too unprofessional. I want to keep it figgy, because an Arsenal player is an Arsenal player, and I support all Arsenal players no matter who they are. I haven't got no favourites. I don't hate any of them. But this, if we don't get someone in January, we're not getting in Europe. We're not. And I'll give him a 2. I thought it was awful.
Alexandre Lacazette gets possibly the lowest score of the season.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong though? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did something that I missed.
No,
I don't know.
No, it'd have been nice if he would have got in the box, because then maybe we might have. I don't know. Maybe we might have had an attempt on goal, but he ain't going to score if he ain't in the box. And he was barely in their box the whole game. it was pointless even having him there. It was pointless. Eddie Nketiah.
Another one. Don't want to be here. Don't want to sign a contract. Comes on, misses a sitter. Brilliant. This is where we are. This is where we are. This is why for weeks we've spoken about how important it is to get strikers in January. Just not good enough. Not good enough. Mr. Sitter. Mr. Sitter that my missus could have scored, or my grandson would have scored. That it was like that. I mean, awful miss. Again, I like Eddie. So I don't fill me with great joy. Talking like this about an Arsenal player, but yeah, for the time he was on and he missed a sitter, what mark can you give him? 3. Just for the fact that he actually got in the box and had an header. That's one more thing that he did than what Lacazette did for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, I thought he came on. for Lacazette, and then I saw Lacazette sitting in central midfield next to Xhaka, and I was like, okay, he's still on the pitch. Tavares.
Yeah, again, he wasn't on long enough. I don't know. To be fair to Ramsdale, I don't know why he was shouting at him about that cross because he couldn't even walk at the time. So I thought that was a bit unfair to him. But he wasn't on long enough. Couldn't do much. 5.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit. I thought it was a bit sloppy when he came on. Not sharp. Yeah, I don't think he was great when he came on. Aubameyang.
He wasn't on long enough, was he?
What was he on for 6 minutes? I think. No, 12 minutes because of 6 minutes additional time. But I mean,
and he missed a sitter. Someone else missed a sitter.
Yeah, maybe not a sitter, but he's got to make the keeper work there.
Yeah, Aubameyang scores him, doesn't he? Aubameyang puts him in the back of the net.
He's got to work the keeper. He has to work the keeper there. I'm not going to sit here digging out Aubameyang week in, week out because I've said my piece. You want to go see what I think about Aubameyang? Go and watch my latest video. But he's got to work Pickford there. He's got to work Pickford there. It's plain and simple. We're talking about a player we're saying was world class. We're talking about a player who was banging in 30 plus goals a season, year in, year out. He knows he's got to hit the target. Why is he coming on for 6 minutes? Like Lacazette was awful. Like awful. I can't get over how bad Lacazette was tonight, yeah. And Aubameyang was on for 6 minutes. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. What are you giving Aubameyang?
The fact he had a shot, I can't give him more than. I've got to give him one more than Lacazette, haven't I? Unless I put Lacazette, demote him down to a 1. So I've got to give him a 3.
Aubameyang gets a 3.
I just don't know what the biggest problem, that I see with Arsenal at the moment is 3 things, and that is Thomas Partey, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Alexander Lacazette. Them 3 are just non-existent. They're just 3 who we would call at one point that some have called anyway, world-class footballers who probably wouldn't even get in a non-league team at the minute, the way they're playing. And it's like Arsenal playing with 7, 8 men, and with them 3 playing the way they are, that puts pressure on your midfield, and that puts pressure on your defence. So I always have to look at the defensive areas of our football pitch, and I like to sort of not, be too harsh on them, because I know from playing football for 35 years that I know if you've got your 3 players who are just not there, and they're your offensive players, and they're just not doing the work and not doing what they're supposed to do, you're going to spend, the majority of the season just under pressure all the time. And it all goes back to the fact that we're relying on Saka and Smith Rowe all the time to score goals, and that is where we are at the minute. We're in a situation where we need Saka and Smith Rowe every single game to play well and score our goals, because no one else is going to. Those two certainly ain't. If we don't bring anybody in January, I'll be absolutely dumbfounded.
Yeah. Yes, we're in desperate need of someone in January. Otherwise, we ain't even getting in the Europa League, let alone the Europa Conference, let alone the Europa League, or let alone the top four. Like, it's not even a conversation. Mikel Arteta.
Well, difficult one tonight. Defence, you can't argue with the defence that he picked. The midfield, Partey and Xhaka. I think he probably played Xhaka too long. He was on the pitch. He looked tired. It just shows how desperate Arsenal are, that they can't do without Granit Xhaka, that they have to play him for 90 minutes. So for me, that was a risk. Thomas Partey, I'll take him out now. I will take him out and bring the Conga in next week. But for this week, Lacazette was a wrong decision. Should never have played him. He did absolutely nothing. I don't know, was Smith Rowe injured or was he rested?
Yeah, he's injured.
Yeah, I thought he was injured. Yeah, and it wasn't great. And I think the fact that Partey played and the fact that Lacazette played, I think probably could have lost us the game tonight. He was my key man, Partey, and he was awful again. So it just turned out that, I don't think he should have played now in hindsight. I think he needs a rest, because he doesn't seem to be getting any better, just seems to be getting worse. And yeah, Mikel, you've had a nightmare tonight, I think, mate. I'll give you a 5, just again, because players let you down.
Mikel Arteta with a 5. I think even if he picks the same that he does, Lacazette's on far too long. It doesn't take for the 86th minute for you to see that Lacazette's been poor all game. I would have hooked Lacazette at about 60th, seen what he'd done in the second half, and then just took him off. I'd have brought on Aubameyang earlier. Aubameyang's been dog. He's been awful, but I don't think he deserved to sit on the bench for 86 minutes.
No.
So something there tells me there's something not right, and I think maybe pierre-emerick read into that correctly. I didn't really read too much into it, but he says if you're going to take your captain off, who's a striker with 15 minutes to go when you need a goal, there's something not right there. When you're leaving your striker on the bench for 86 minutes, and you bring on Eddie Nketiah before him, that says a lot.
Right, that's a great point.
That says there's something not right there. Something's not up.
No, that's a great point.
And I think January, you'll see definitely 100% Arsenal bringing a striker in January. If they're going to leave Aubameyang and to make a point like that for 86 minutes, when it was evident that he wanted to try and win that game as well. Arsenal are in trouble if they don't bring in a striker, and a striker that hits the ground running at that, they're in trouble. And it could potentially be another season where they finish where they did the last 2 seasons if they do not score goals, because goals win games, and Arsenal aren't scoring enough goals at the moment. Even a poor game today, we could have got points against Everton. They won purely on determination and effort in the end, and a wonder strike, which they got there to that point there on determination and effort. They were a bit flat at first, but then again, once again, Arsenal let these teams that are not on par with them into the game. And they took advantage of it. Same against Man United. Man United weren't great the other day. People were telling me that Man United were dominated. It's laughable. It's laughable. Arsenal let them get back in the gift. Why do you think Arsenal fans are so gutted about the other day's defeat? Because they watched the team. They've seen it again and again and again. Take a lead, sit off. Take a lead, sit off. Take a lead and not capitalise on it. Not go for the jugular. Once again, Arsenal have taken the lead against the team and they haven't won the game. It's criminal to take a lead against a team in the Premier League twice in a row and lose the game. Absolutely criminal. I'm going to go to some of the comments before we go. What's Johnny saying? Johnny is saying, I look shell-shocked. Mate, I'm just... Yeah, it just gets me hard when we lose these types of games, man. Everton, and it's not, for me, it's not about Everton's poor form. It's not about that, because I think you've got to put that aside. Everton are Everton. They've got good players, good manager. It won't ever take much for a team like that to turn things around. It's about us. It's about what Arsenal do. That's the most important thing. And I know that Arsenal can go into bar Man City, Liverpool, into every game and get a result. Not necessarily a win every game, but they can get a result. They can come out with points. And teams like Everton, it's always going to be a tough game, but you've got to get your 3 points there. They're getting your 3 points against the likes of Everton, Villas, Leicester's, Tottenham. These are the ones that are going to push you up into the top 4 or into Europa League again. And yeah, sleeping on it. So like,
but what have we said? What have we said for weeks now? If our strikers don't, if our forward offensive players don't, they're not scoring goals, what's going to happen? We've said it. We called it. We said if they're not doing it, if Partey don't liven up, if our forwards don't start scoring goals, what's going to happen? Because we can't expect, Smith Rowe's and Saka's to score goals every week. Mm-hmm. And we're proving it to be right. Not that I ever thought for 1 minute that we were wrong, but it's when the big thing for me is that when you've got 3 players who are just not doing it week in, week out, you've got problems, haven't you? No matter who you're playing, whether you're playing Norwich City, you're going to have problems. Mm-hmm. And you've got to have goal scorers, and here's a stat for you. Right, here's a stat for you. We have scored less goals than Newcastle.
Yeah.
Now, if that ain't a stat and a half, if that don't get people waking up, and see where the actual problem is, then I don't know what is. I seriously don't know what is. If Newcastle, sitting second from bottom, have scored more goals than Arsenal, then they've got what more? It doesn't take an Einstein, does it, to look at the problem? And people out there watching tonight, people in the comments, don't be too hard on our defensive players. Don't be too hard on them, because when your forwards ain't doing it, when they're not put pressure on the other defence, when they're not, pressing or running back, then our defensive midfield players they're going to have trouble, no matter who they're playing.
Yeah. Why isn't Balogun getting a run?
He's left.
Balogun's. I think they're looking to go on loan. But yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he was to get a run. With Aubameyang going away with Gambia, we're left with no options apart from new players to come in January, and potentially this guy to get a run out. Gomez changed the game. He looked good, but he did last time. Gomez seems to be a player that when he plays against Arsenal, he causes us trouble. But when he plays against everyone else, He's non-existent. Like he's a good player on his day, very good player, classy, got a good right foot, good shot on him, very good. But he's one of them players that if you give him time, he can destroy you. You can't give him time. Literally, you can't give him time. He's got no pace. He's okay with strength, but you can't give Andre Gomez time. He's a classy player.
He's a good player. He is.
Yeah.
He's that we was talking about like in the preview, and we was talking about you. I think you brought up, player, party with time. Good. You get, about him having time on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Arsenal's greatest ever player. Always the thing that I've always sort of think of when Dennis Bergkamp is mentioned. Not that not that Party couldn't lace up Dennis Bergkamp's boots, but what I'm saying is, the thing that they always used to say about Dennis Bergkamp was, how does he get in that space? How has he got all that space over there? Because he would be the first person you mark, because he's an excellent footballer, with a mind that other footballers don't have, and that's how you recognise a top player to not a top player, and that's another problem Thomas Partey's got, because he don't seem to be able to find that. He can't do that.
Yeah, that spatial awareness is he's not there right now. It's not just the strikers. The midfield cost us all the time. They don't seem to be able to play the ball forward.
I think it's because there's no players to play it forward to.
Yeah, I mean, if you look tonight, you had the two down the channels, then you had Lacazette. They were standing next to him. I just don't understand. It's a shambles. We can't win games comfortably, and the disgusting displays are completely inept. The manager is completely out of his depth, and the team do not know what they're doing. Simple score goals. Well, even if it was the case that you're not rating the manager, can we account for them open goals that our strikers keep missing? Like, our fortunes look completely different if Aubameyang puts in those shots. Like, the games are different. The games are different. We can always talk about the manager, but like, I'm watching poor displays from the players on the pitch. Nothing to do with tactics. I'm talking about sloppiness. I'm talking about just standard things like that. I just
think like the mention of it, the manager's out of his depth's wrong, right? It's because he's totally changed 6 or 7, 8 of the players, and every week we come on here, we laud them. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, White, Tierney, Tavares, Lokonga, Emil Smith-Rowe, Bakary Saka, So what we're saying, he's okay for 9 of them, or 8 of them, but the 3 others who just don't. So that tells me that the 3 others are just not listening, and they've got to go, and they need to be thrown out, because you can't get, if a manager's like come in and he's changed the whole club, redone the whole defence, and now we've got 4 England internationals that play for Arsenal. It can't be the manager. It's got to be the individual. And it's like what Roy Keane said that time. I see it in a comment once, but I've heard it before. Roy Keane used to come up and he used to say, I never used to come off the pitch and blame the manager. I never had a bad game because the manager. Because I had a terrible game today. It's the manager's fault. He was like, it's just a joke. Yeah. It's a joke. It's a joke. If they was all rubbish, if they was all out of form, then we can say, maybe the manager has got a problem with the manager. But not when 9 of them, 8 of them are fine, and they're all internationals, and they're all, we've all been happy with them. What we're saying is that he's out of depth because he can't get Aubameyang and Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah and Partey. So all of a sudden become
anyone could jumpstart Aubameyang's career right now.
Exactly.
Just nothing there. Transfer talk. Come on, let's talk Barcelona want. First of all, Barcelona ain't got 350 grand to fork out on wages like lazy. Second of all, Barcelona wouldn't want Aubameyang. You're having a laugh. Lacazette. Crazy. These guys are meant to be putting themselves in the shop window. Who would buy them? You'd lucky if Angers would take Lacazette right now. It's awful.
But the thing is, kids, with Aubameyang, not so much Lacazette, but with Aubameyang, he's not putting himself in the shop window. You don't need to put yourself in the shop window.
18 months left on his contract on 350 grand a week. Of course he doesn't.
Exactly. So he can just, you say there's a problem with the manager, Aubameyang might have just turned around to Arteta and say, well, I'll just do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I won't ad lib, but there is something ain't right. Something ain't right. 84th minute before Aubameyang came on and Arsenal needed a goal. It was 1-0. Arsenal it came up 2-1. Oh, it was 1-0. Arsenal needed a goal. 1-0. Aubameyang ain't brought on. That something ain't right.
That's pretty damning, mate. The more you think about it.
Eddie Nketiah came on before Aubameyang. Take that in. All right, that's what I'm going to leave you on. That is what I'm going to leave you on. Thank you very. Oh, Bradley Burrows, new name. Look on last one. He's giving these bad players new deals. Laka, Xhaka, Eddie, etc. He's trying to keep these players. Yeah, it's not that easy. You'd be surprised. Boards, people are trying to recoup money. Like a lot of these people are talking about money. So if you're talking about a new deal, it would be like probably like a 1 year short-term deal to try and recoup some money because they didn't take the money in the summer. So I wouldn't. It's not always the manager that's making these calls or being leaned on to make these calls. And as for Xhaka, like, come on, seriously,
that's ridiculous. That is
like we're talking about a player who Arsenal were willing to sell, but for the right price. No one was willing to offer that price. So what should Arsenal do? Let him go down another year on his contract, where he's still going to stay, but they're going to end up getting nothing for him, which then you guys would complain about Arsenal's dealings. So, okay, in one breath, Arsenal should have sorted that out if they wanted to move Xhaka on last season, so they would have got more money from last season and brought in his replacement, but they didn't. So, if you do that, you will see it's not just Arsenal. Many other teams give players contracts, and you think to yourself, why have they given them a contract? It's because they don't want to lose money on the player. You can't have it both ways. You can't talk about bringing in this player, bringing in that player on this amount of money when you're letting all these players go for free. Like you think that you're in a situation where Eddie Nketiah, Alexandre Lacazette, beforehand, Squadron Mustafi, Socrates, Kolasinac, Ozil all went down to the last year on their contracts. Yeah, and you want that to happen again? Come on, guys. Like, I know you may not like certain players, and you're all entitled to your own opinion on certain players. All right, but sometimes you've got to take a step back and think about a bigger picture there. And Arsenal signed them up some of these players, or wanted to sign some of these players on the contract because they didn't have replacements for them. And what you're going to do? Sell yourself short because you ain't got a replacement for Xhaka? That'd be stupid. No matter how much you don't like Xhaka, he's better than not having someone there at all. And look at where we are this season with the players that we have got there.
I think he's Arsenal's best midfield player. I think he's Arsenal's best. I haven't watched football as long as I've watched football to not see the qualities of what Granit Xhaka's got. And I seriously think, go and have a look on Twitter, see how it's turned. See how this guy's in training. See how much he wants to play for Arsenal. See how much he wants to play for the badge. See how much. Go and look at his stats. Seriously. You've got it wrong. I've proved a lot of people wrong with Xhaka. And you got it wrong way round with him. He ain't no, Makalele. But I think people don't like his forcefulness. They don't like his nastiness. Because
I
maybe
think
they're
what
not like.
people don't like is his like I don't know how you can be like you can't in one breath turn around and say that Arsenal have a soft underbelly for years, and then the moment a player comes in and he wants to start clattering players to leave a message, to do whatever, to break up play, although for I think Xhaka could have thrown in one of his fouls in before the goal, but I'm not blaming him. Then people were saying that they're annoyed with him for his rashness. That's not what I don't.
That's what you want. That's what you want. Well, I don't know what's like. There's all this wokeness Arsenal fans coming around lately. You know, I don't know what it is. You want someone who's got some balls, and he's probably with Kieran Tierney. He's the only one who's got any balls. In that Arsenal side, and he's not on every single manager's first team sheet for the last 7-8 years for nothing. So no, this is not. I'm not having it. I've never had it from Kieran. I've never had it. So yeah, people can talk as much as they like, but
Arsenal can't attract big players anymore. Again, I'm not buying into this. Honestly, please go and have a look at Arsenal's history. Yeah. How often do Arsenal bring in these so-called big players? Because the big players that you're talking about aren't the big players that Arsenal used to buy of yesteryear. No way. Not having it. Not having it. Not having it. We want to talk about Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp went to Italy and failed. Omri went to Italy and failed. Vieira went to Italy and failed. All these players that you're talking about legends. Ian Wright came from Crystal Palace, and before that, he was at Greenwich Borough. Don't talk to me about attracting big players. It's nonsense, man. Arsenal never bought big players. Robin Van Persie, was he a big player? No, we make stars. We don't buy them. Yeah. As soon as we started to buy stars, look what happened. The egos got to the people's heads, and the club started falling. Yeah, it's not about big names, big players. Yeah. It's nonsense. Look at the players we bought in this season. Tomiyasu, he's been one of the best players we bought in. Ramsdale, most people mugged him off before he got here. Ben White, Gabriel, tell me any Tavares. None of these players are big players. It's not about big players. It's about the right players, the right attitude. And right now, it's not on because we're getting let down by certain experienced players. Anyway, we have to go. All right. Bradley Burrows, please. I'm loving your interaction today. Make sure you join us on Tuesday. Hit that subscribe button and that notifications because I don't want you to miss out at all. We've got some quality guests coming on. We was meant to have Kanu on the other week. We've had Emil Heskey on. We've had Rohan Ricketts. We've had Frank Sinclair. And there's going to be many, many more. So don't you worry about it. We've got competitions coming up. One's just about to drop tomorrow. So make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe button. If you are watching on Twitter, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Come over to KS1 TV. And if you are watching on Facebook, sort out your settings so we can see who you are. All right? Come over. All right? Thanks for joining us tonight, people. Thanks for joining us tonight, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. Yeah, cheers, mate. And look, we're all Arsenal fans at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we all want the best. So,
of course we do. Look, everyone has opinions. Everyone has opinions. It's all good. Everyone has opinions. This is what we start this thing for, to debate. All right? All right. So, peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.